recognize your name. Walk ahead.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good, man. Good.
Okay, so this one's gonna be a little different. So obviously we've got our normal podcast days where we sit, shoot the shit, talk about life. We have our interviews, which we interview business owners, and then we're starting this. This is just strictly for sales, for anyone who's in sales, trying to learn sales. This man right here has been in sales for 18 years.
16.
16, sorry.
16 going on 17.
17 years. I've been in sales probably 6.5 years, 6 years, somewhere around there. I've been in car sales for a little over 3. I've learned a lot from this man, so figured why not use our 20-plus years of experience to try to help some of the new people getting into sales, and maybe we'll touch up on some stuff and refresh some stuff in our heads. So I'm excited about this. This one's not going to be as long. It's not going to be an hour. It's not going to be 50 minutes, but maybe like 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes. Just try to give you guys some tips, try to help you guys out.
First thing you need to do is identify your client. Identify your client. See it from the client's perspective. You have to see it from the client's perspective. Top salespeople will identify what the customer wants and needs are, and then tailor that walk around and tailor their experience to the client. That's what you have to do. If you don't see it from the client's perspective, the client won't ever feel like they've been assisted, you've helped them, and they've bought a vehicle. So the first thing is see it from the client's perspective. Build a relationship first before you try to sell anything, because that person has to know a little bit about you, and then we'll dive into that as well. But you also have to know your client, know exactly what your client wants, what their needs are, and why they're here to see you. So the first thing is identify and see it from the client's perspective.
I think that's probably the biggest complaint of any sales industry is that salesmen are pushy, salesmen don't listen, salesmen don't care what you want. And we get that all the time, especially in the car industry where, another dealership, now or another dealership 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or even a salesman at our dealership in the past has rubbed somebody the wrong way because they didn't listen. And if they did listen and they had to, let's say they had to do a credit reestablishment and the customer got into a vehicle they didn't want, the salesman didn't properly explain why they have to get into that vehicle. So it makes them feel like they're not wanted. That's why we talk to our guys and we tell them, when we're in the very beginning, everything that you ask the customer what they want, you write down their answers. 1, that shows that you are listening. That shows that you care. And 3, that shows that you're going to try to get them those things. Now, you can tell them in the beginning, if they say they're a special finance customer up front, you can relay. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get all of these, but I'm going to try to get everything I can for you because it's my job to make you happy. Now, again, when they feel understood, they're much more likely to listen to your scenario, to your answer to their solution or to your solution to their problem. We talk about problems and possibilities. They have problems. They have in their head, they have their own possibilities of what needs to happen. Well, they don't have 16 years in the car business like you. They don't have 3 years in the car business like I do. So they don't understand, some of the possibilities and some of the outcomes that has to happen in order to get a different outcome down the line. So it's our job, and this is where a lot of salespeople fail, is not relaying that information and not getting that point across and making the true situation understood because they just treat the customer like a dollar sign.
Average salespeople look at clients as dollar signs. They really do, and that's all they see, and all they're selling is to chase that dollar. You don't have to do that. Again, see it from the customer's perspective. Identify what your client is there for. Sales is no different than going to the doctor. We go to the doctor because there's a problem. We're looking for answers. Same thing at the car dealership in sales. They go to the car dealership because they're looking for answers to their questions. Their questions may they want a new vehicle and they don't know how to purchase one. They may want to upgrade from a smaller vehicle to a bigger vehicle, and they're looking for you to answer those questions for them. So you have to be somewhat a detective in asking questions.
Not somewhat. You have to be a detective.
You do. But you have, in asking questions, you have to ask the right questions. That's another sales tip for you. That was the fourth thing that I was going to get into today is you have to ask the right questions to find out the right answers. Again, Austin, you talk about problems and possibilities. Identify the problem, find out where that problem rose from, and fix the problem. So again, the number one thing is, like I said, see it from the client's perspective. The number two thing that I have for you is believe in the product that you're selling. Believe in your product. Whether it's a car, it's makeup, it's coffee, it doesn't matter. You have to believe in the product. You have to get excited about the product. You have to be enthusiastic about the product. If you're not excited about the product and you're not enthusiastic about the product, that product would never be sold. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not excited about it,
why should your customer?
Why should your customer? How can they trust your product if you're not excited about it? So the number two thing is believe in your product. Top salespeople believe in their product. They research their product.
That's what I was going to say.
They study their product.
That's what I was going to say.
They drill and they master their product. And so, at the dealership now, that's what I've been getting back to with all the new salesmen. We're going to do walk-arounds different day, every day. Right now, sits on my desk right now information about the Charger. So we can go out and do the walk-around. Well, there's two types of walk-around. For people who are short on time, you can do a 3-minute drill, right? And then you can do a tailored walk-around. Either one that you do, you still have to believe in your product. So, number one, see it from your customer's perspective. Find their wants and needs. Number two, believe in your product. Be excited and enthusiastic of what you're selling.
I mean, just the walk around is huge in general because that's one thing that you stress to me. You stress to every salesman, but I think I picked it up in the very beginning is when you're showing that vehicle, you show it like that's the only vehicle on the lot.
Yes, sir.
Now let's take it to another product. You mentioned makeup, but let's say you're selling Dyson vacuums or something. You should know everything about that vacuum and everything, the problems, the possibilities. You should know the features, the functions, the benefits. You should know the features, the advantages, the benefits. So let's break that down because not everybody might know what that means. The feature, we'll say the breakaway motor mount. Okay, the motor mount breaks away. That's the feature, the breakaway motor mount. Now the function is it breaks away in case of a collision.
Right, how it works.
Okay, yeah, how it works. Now, the benefit, this is the most important part. So most salespeople just like to list off a bunch of items, a bunch of random items. The customer's like, all right, cool. Like you're talking Chinese to me. The customers don't understand 90% of what a salesperson says. What is most important is, and this is why you ask those questions. This is why you pay attention to people and scenarios and do they come in with a family? Are they, you ask these questions, you pay attention because one feature might have different benefits to you than it does me. And you have to pick up on that and paint a clear picture for that customer. So let's go back to the breakaway motor mount.
Absolutely.
Let's say that in case of a head-on collision, that motor the mount that holds the motor is going to break, the engine is going to drop down instead of getting pushed back into the cab. Now, what that's going to do for you, Mr. Waddell, Mr. Bo, is it's actually going to keep you and your family safe. It's going to keep that steering column out of your chest, and it's going to keep all that excess engine metal out of the cab away from your family. Now, I know you're probably worried about, okay, well, what about the other car coming in? There's actually crumple zones in the frame of the vehicle that are supposed to act like an accordion. So you explain it differently that way versus just saying, the motor breaks away. Now this customer's not thinking, okay, all right, motor breaks away. Now they're left to their own devices to paint a picture in their head of, so I'm just going to get hit by a vehicle? Instead of explaining the actual safety features and the benefits of it in that perspective, you have to paint a clear and concise picture and paint the narrative like we talked about yesterday. Tell a story. A story doesn't have to be a lie. I know in the old school you would say, "Why are you telling a story?"
Yeah.
Like why are you lying? But it doesn't have to be a lie. It shouldn't be a lie.
That's right.
You should just tell a creative story. For instance, I use my stepdad for an example. Every single time that I use this, every vehicle that has it, my stepdad, when he was a little bit younger than I am now, over in Kingston, hit a telephone pole or a tree, and the steering column drove through his chest. He had to walk a mile home after the wreck. He almost died. That'll never. That should never happen now, in theory at least, with the safety features just from that. So I paint that picture, and I get them thinking about how lucky they are that this feature's in this vehicle.
Yeah. So, you have to paint a picture. Your customer has to see real life. This is real life stuff here.
Yep.
This is not make-believe stuff here. This is real life, and it's dangerous, and it's really dangerous. Also, you talk about feature, function, benefit. I stress that so many times. Feature, what it is, right? The function, how it works. But if there's no benefit, why do I need it? And your customers will ask you that. Your client will ask you that. Well, why do I need it? It's just costing me extra money. It's costing me extra maintenance. Why do I need it? You have to give them the benefit of why they need it. This is why you need it. It keeps your family safe. And when you say that to a client, they think about it, right? Because you believe in your product. I believe in my product that I put my family in the product that I sell, right? My wife's no different than any other client. Guess what happened when she bought her Jeep? I did a walk around with her too. So that guess what? She sees the value in the product that she's buying, And so with that being said, your benefit, whatever you're selling, your benefit, you have to give that to your client. That's the benefit of what you're selling. That is called value. What's the value of me having this product right here? So feature, function, benefit. Again, 1, see it from your customer's perspective. 2, believe in your product. Believe in your product. Believe in it. Believe in it. It doesn't matter what it is. If you don't know anything about your product, research your product. There's sales tips about your product. There's stats about your product. And if you don't know the product and you do research and you still are not excited about that product, you probably should sell something else.
Yeah.
You probably should sell something different if you're not excited about the product that you're selling. If you don't believe in it, your customer's never going to believe in it.
I'll just take it back to when I sold door-to-door. I sold DirecTV, AT&T Internet, and CenturyLink Internet. And I couldn't give a single rat's ass about any of it. Mm-hmm. I was bored out of my mind. Mm-hmm. I was doing third party, doing door to door, and then I did retail sales, in the Costco's and the Sam's Clubs and the Walmarts. I didn't give a lick about it.
No.
So do you think I was as tapped on as I am when I'm with a customer?
No, not
at
the
dealership.
all.
No. One, it's not a good environment. Oh, that's another thing. If you're working for a company in sales, make sure there's in an environment. If you've ever played sports, make sure that it's a sports team that pushes you. Now, you don't. There's a fine line between being in a toxic workplace. You got to make sure there's reward. You got to make sure that they pay you, right? But you have to be in a place that pushes you, that motivates you.
That's right.
Because if you're just in a place that is just taking from you, like I've been, sales is a terrible place to be. Mm-hmm. You will feel like you're on an island. So definitely be aware for some of those traps, and we can get into that on a different episode. And I can give you a whole story. I can fill up 4 hours worth of stuff, but I won't do that today. Excuse me. But yeah, just be aware of some of those traps and be on the lookout. But be in a place that nurtures you, but more so pushes you and motivates you. Next, I wanted to get into what we were talking about in the very beginning. You said we were going to get to it, is sell yourself, because you do this better than anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Being in the business 16 years, that's been my biggest value. That's been my biggest value. It really has. I used to look at the sales board all the time and wonder how I sold all these cars, wonder where all these people came from, and wondering, how I was making six figures. I tried to, put a pencil to it. And I finally realized I'm just being genuine and I'm selling myself. I'm giving that client everything that I got every day. I took it yesterday. Typically, when a client comes in and they ask for me, because I want to share and I want the team to win, I would give them to a salesperson. And, I would lace the salesperson up and tell the salesperson all about them. And so that salesperson can start building that relationship. Well, I had a client come in yesterday and I thought about that. I said, no, don't do that. They're here to see you. They're here to see you for a reason. They're not here to see anybody else. Don't give them away. They're here to see you for a reason. What's that reason? And I thought about it. I thought about it hard. I went in the restroom and I thought about it. What is that reason they're here to see you? And I thought, regardless if I sell a car today, if I sell this product today, I'm still going to give this client the best customer experience that I can. We talk about walk-arounds. I pulled the van up, I opened all doors, and I did a walk-around. I did it the exact same way that I'm teaching the salespeople now, because I'm a firm believer in if I don't do it, how can I teach somebody else to do it? Mm-hmm. If I don't show it, how will somebody else see it? I'm all I got. It's me versus the client. And I'm not against the client. I'm against the competition. Whatever they're shopping me against, whether it's a Toyota or it doesn't matter. I'm against that competition. I'm not against the client. I'm with the client.
Especially now more than ever.
Absolutely.
Customers have 100 options.
Absolutely. So for every client, right, and this is all I sell, I want you to have the best customer experience of all time. I advertise myself as America's best customer experience. And I tell customers all the time, regardless if you buy now or 20 years from now, it's still my job to make sure that your experience goes well today. I told the other customer the other day, I said, listen, I'm going to be sad when you leave. When you don't purchase, I'm going to be sad. I am. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be sad when you don't buy. But I'm going to be okay. It's because I've done everything in my heart to try to earn your business, to answer your questions, to build this product up and share with you. This product is as valuable to you as it is to me. And that's what you have to do. It doesn't matter, Austin, what you're selling. It doesn't. It does not matter. You have to go sell yourself like you're the hottest commodity in the environment that you're in. You're the hottest thing going, because your customer, your client looks for you for answers. Mm-hmm. If their car breaks down, they're coming to look for you. If they have a question about their vehicle, they're looking for you. If their paperwork's messed up, they're looking for you.
Yep.
If they have a problem, they're looking for you. So why not give the best customer experience of all time and build that authority and build that trust with your customer? Because my customers, they get mad at me all the time.
Yep.
They do.
Yep.
And I look them right in the face and say, you know what? I'm still here for you. Regardless of where you mad at me, I'm still going to try to fix the problem.
And you're real with customers too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't beat around the bush.
No.
There's no point.
There's no point in beating around the bush. A top sales professional, and this is my third thing for you guys today. A top sales professional will ask the right questions. A top sales professional isn't interested in asking some gimmick question. A top sales professional isn't interested in the product, isn't interested in how much money he can make on that car deal, isn't interested in the dollar sign. A top sales professional is interested in the conversation that you can have with your customer on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the conversation that I can have with my client, like an everyday conversation, and not feel tense, not feel stressed, or not feel that I got to win him over to get his money. If I have a conversation with them and they trust me and I build authority, they'll give me the money because they want their product that builds value to them, to me, and their family.
And customers aren't stupid. They know you're getting a commission.
Absolutely.
They know you're making money. They don't know
Absolutely.
how much. Sometimes it's little, sometimes it's
Absolutely.
more. But
your customers know that you get commission.
And, you do a great job. They want you to get paid.
Absolutely. They want to pay you more for doing a good job.
It's no different than they want you to, like if you were working for hourly, they would want you to make the most amount of money possible.
No, Austin, I never thought that I would get a tip in selling cars. I've been tipped multiple times. And I didn't want to take it. I told them multiple times that I can't take your money. They stuff it in my pocket. because I've done a good job for them, and they feel wanted. They feel like they have not been sold; they've been assisted. It's a difference. There's a difference.
Customers come back to you because they trust you, and you talk about selling yourself, but you don't just do that with words. You back it up with actions. It's one thing for a customer to see that you're saying something, and hear that you're saying something, but when your actions show it, and then you can build that trust by your problem solving and by your work ethic, then they can start to build that value in you, and you build that value in yourself.
Yes.
And then they build that trust in you. Just like the other day, you've been in this business for 16 years. How long have you been a manager?
12. I'm sorry. 13.
13. How long have you been the general sales manager? 10.
10.
10.
9, 10.
9, 10. So you've been a manager 12, 13 years. You've been a general sales manager 9 or 10 years.
Yes, sir.
And you went out and you were working a customer the other day by yourself.
Yes, sir.
Because we were shorthanded at the time.
Yes,
you were working a customer fully.
Yes,
and
sir.
then we were short on detailers. What'd you do?
I went and detailed the car.
Went and detailed the car. How long did that take you? Almost an hour?
Yeah, about an hour, 45 minutes or so.
Yeah. So in the midst of working the entire car deal, assisting the customer, answering their questions, you had been with that customer 5-6 hours at that point, probably.
6 hours for sure. I was drained.
Yeah, he was drained. Hadn't had as much coffee as he wanted because he was focused.
No lunch, no nothing.
No lunch. He didn't get to eat his meals. But guess what? He worked him for 5-6 hours, and then he went and detailed the car himself when he could have passed it along to a salesman.
Yeah.
So that's the type of work ethic. That's the type of selling yourself and selling your services that a customer notices that makes them want to come back and ask for Bo. I consider myself one of his top proteges. I still I can go in there and talk to most people he can talk to, but there's still some customers coming. Nope, I'm talking to Bo. Even if I've helped them before, nope, I'm talking to Bo. And it's nothing against me. They just want to deal with Bo because he's given them such good experiences. They don't necessarily know what they're going to get with me, even though they'll get a great experience. I'm confident. They want to deal with Bo because they know what they're going to get from Bo. They're going to get honest answers. They're going to get enjoyment. They're going to get a good time. They're not going to feel like their time was wasted.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like this. I put myself as the client. I love cars. I love everything about cars. I love buying cars. I'll buy a car every day if my wife let me. So I put myself as the client, and I visualize the experience that I would want to have. I visualize the experience that I would want to have, and I go give it to the client. That's the experience that I would want to have. I mean, I want to come to the dealership where I don't feel like I'm being stressed out about spending $60,000. That's a lot for a vehicle, bro. I mean, seriously, $60,000 is a lot for a vehicle for what I do with it. I drive to work and I drive home. I may drive to the city to go see my granddaughter or on vacation. Mm-hmm. Other than that, my car doesn't move. It doesn't drive anywhere. So for all that money, I at least want to have a great experience purchasing it so that I don't feel overwhelmed, so that I don't think that this is not for me, so I don't think that I don't deserve it. You do deserve it. Pat yourself on the back, and I tell clients that all the time. You deserve it. You really do. And so again, have a great sales experience. Ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. Don't get involved and don't be interested. If you're going to be a top salesperson, don't be interested in the questions, the back and forth questions. Just have a simple conversation with your clients. Mm-hmm. Everyday conversation with your clients. Here's 5 things that I tell the salespeople to do before they even attempt to start selling the product. The first thing, find out where the customer's from, the client. Find out where they're from. Number 2, find out what your client does in the city that they live in. Number 3, find out about their family. Who will be riding in their great vehicle with them? Who will be comforting them when they're stressed out about the product that they just purchased? Find out. And then guess what? Find out exactly why your client is there to see you. Find out exactly why they're there to see you. And that will help you with your sales process. It really will. It starts with, first, a positive mindset. A positive mindset. Positive mindset. You have to be positive going into the sales process. You can't judge the client. You can't look at them as they're not buying. You can't look at them as they have less than perfect credit. You can't have any negatives about the client. You can't do it. You absolutely can't do it. So, again, give the best experience that you can. You can. Give the best experience you can. Tailor that experience around you as a client with whatever product that you're buying. Give great experiences, and you'll have great experiences as a salesperson.
So I'm gonna go backwards just a little bit, but you started on my next point. So, as you talked about you can't have a negative mindset; you have to have a positive mindset. So, from when I went from selling 4 to 5, 6 cars a month to 10, 12, 15, 18, whatever the most I sold, there was a point where I felt like I've started feeling bad for myself because I started thinking, man, I only have special finance customers. I only have customers that don't have great credit. I only have customers who are upside down. I only have this, yada, yada, yada. Well, I was thinking about it. Well, it's finance. It's the desk manager's job to get the deal approved. It's my job to sell the vehicle, sell myself. And then I started sitting there thinking, it's like, man, I think it was probably you that said something about it, but I just started thinking, why don't I try harder to figure out what I can do to help my desk manager? Can I get a better cosigner up front? Can I get a little bit of money down to help them not be upside down? Can I, to help the bank like the deal a little more? There were things that I wasn't doing that I started doing, and guess what? As soon as I shifted that mentality, added an extra 5, 6 cars a month, right, immediately, just because I got more deals approved. Those special finance deals that we weren't getting approved, well, guess what? The desk manager can only get approved or can only try to get your deal approved with what they have in front of them. The more steps you get up front, the more proof of income, proof of residence, all that stuff. That stuff matters, and so the more I can make it easier for them, the easier my car deal is going to go, so I can take accountability on that. To touch on my next point, you were talking about the 5 things you do. I look at it like a ball of yarn. That conversation with the customer, it's like a ball of yarn that you're pulling. You're trying to pick and find threads. You can start pulling those threads out, and now 4, 5, 6, 7 topics in, you have 6 topics that you can talk about. One of them is longer than the other, so you know what's really important to the customer. So you may have 6 lines of thread. This one's all the way down here. This is what I need to focus on, and then this one's what I need to focus on. Those are the 2 longest. So I don't need to be focusing on the one that I can barely grab. That's what a lot of salesmen will do. They'll just guess. They'll just guess instead of having a real conversation. They'll say scripted shit that they've heard from The Wolf of Wall Street, or they've heard from Suckers, that car movie or whatever. They'll say scripted stuff like that instead of just being real and having conversations with the customer and finding out why they are trying to buy. You find out why they're trying to buy. That's going to lead into your main objections that they're going to give you, and then you can figure out how to problem solve that. You're a problem solver at the end of the day. You're the buffer between finance and the customer. So you're the one that has to figure out. I mean, there's a reason that we go in there after a salesman can't get a cosigner, or we go in there and we can't figure out what's going on with the deal, or the customer's not wanting to buy. We figure out why. Okay, we go in there and they don't want, they have $1,000 of credit card debt they have to pay off, or they're waiting on $500 they think they need a down payment, but they really don't. We can get it done with 0 down. There's a reason we go in there and it takes us 5 minutes sometimes to get an answer out. And then the customer's just over the moon afterward. It's because we ask the questions and we talk to them. We talk to them real.
Yeah.
Tone of voice matters too.
Man, it's so crucial that you do that. And to touch on your first point is that everyone on the dealership, right, has a vital role in the sales process, right? Every person at the dealership has a vital role in the sales process. Every person, every employee, it doesn't matter what department you're in, whether you're in sales, whether you're in service, parts, it doesn't matter. Everybody has a vital part in the sales process, right? So as a sales professional, just do your part of it. Do your part of it. As salespeople, we are so concerned about how that deal is going to get approved, how it's going to be structured, how much money you're going to make on it, and what vehicle you're going to get to make the most amount of money on. That's not what you need to worry about. What you need to worry about is how well are you selling your product? How well are you selling yourself? How well are you selling the service after you sell this product to them? That's what you need to worry about. You need to worry about and figure out how you're going to help the deal become easier for your client. I didn't say for you. For your client. You mentioned it. Make sure that they have their stipulations up front, their driver's license, their insurance, their pay stubs, their bills, anything that you think or you already know, not you think, you already know as a salesperson, especially at our dealership, what stipulations you need. You already know those up front. So if you know those up front, why not prepare your client before they arrive? Why not prepare your client when you have that stale moment of them trying to get approved for the vehicle? That's a simple conversation you can have with them. So as salespeople, do your part. Do your part. Do your part the best that you can do. Be all you can be in your part. Your job is to be the salesperson. The salesperson sells the bank the stipulations you just got from your customer that they are correct. The salesperson sells your service to the customer knowing that if anything happens, they can call on you. The salesperson sells the product that they're in love with and they know it inside and out. So as salespeople, do what you're supposed to do. Don't worry about what the other team members are doing. They'll do their job, you do your job, and the customer wins in the end. That's one of the most important things that you can do. Salespeople worry about too many things that they can't control. Worry about what you can control. You can control your attitude that you take in the sales process and the effort that you put towards the sales process.
Sales is not flashy like the movies make it.
No.
Again, it's a people business, and that's what those movies, and good, they're entertaining, don't get me wrong, but that's what those movies don't show, is that it's a people business. It's not flashy.
Guys, and Austin said it, throw out the script. Throw it out the window. We all learn scripts. We all learn things to say. We all have product information that we can use, word from word. Throw out the script. Throw out the script.
Those are tools. That's not your recipe.
No. The recipe is you allowing that script to cater to your everyday conversation that you'll have with a customer. That is it. You can learn from the scripts. You can remember the scripts, but you also have to tailor those scripts that's going to build the most amount of value for your client. And the most amount of value that you can build for your client is being genuine and hold everyday, normal conversations with them. So throw out the script, okay? Throw out the script, okay? Be yourself, okay? Be yourself when using some word tracks. Be yourself using those word tracks. Add in your own lingo. Tailor them to the way that you speak, right? The number one thing is see it from the customer's perspective, right? The number two thing is make sure that you believe in your product, okay? Number three, make sure that you ask the right questions. Number four, throw out the script. Be yourself today when you go out today. Be yourself, okay? Ask the right questions, okay? See it from the customer's perspective and be all you can be and build the most amount of value in your sales experience and your sales process. Get up, get out of bed, and get going.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world.